How did one size joke I said for laughs end with me getting served papers in my office lobby? Why did my husband stay calm for weeks, then hit me with legal steps that started the same day? I thought he was the weak one, until the result landed in public and nobody could talk it away. My name is Melisande Rowe, and I used to believe I was the smartest person in every room. I worked in marketing at a home services company, and I knew how to sell a story. At home, I sold stories too. I told myself I was the reason our life looked stable from the outside. I told myself Ethan was lucky I stayed. I still think that sometimes, even when I know how it sounds. That morning started like most mornings did. The kitchen smelled like coffee, and the kids were already loud. Maya asked if she could bring a snack to school. I said yes without looking up. Noah asked if I could tie his shoes. I said I was busy and told Ethan to do it. Ethan did not argue. He just knelt down and tied the laces like it was nothing. That calm thing of his used to feel safe. Later, it started to feel like a trap. Ethan asked if we could talk for 5 minutes before I left. He said it in a soft voice like he was afraid of my mood. I asked what he wanted now. He said he felt like I was pulling away and he did not understand why. I told him he was being dramatic, and I said I had a job and 2 kids and a house, and I could not babysit his feelings too. He said he was not asking for babysitting. He said he wanted respect. I laughed and told him respect follows results, and I had results. I said he was the one who acted like a victim whenever I spoke honestly. He asked if I meant the comments I had been making lately. He said I had started joking in a way that cut him. I said it was just humor, and he needed thicker skin. I told him men always said they wanted honesty, and then they cried when they got it. He looked down at the table and asked if we could stop fighting in front of the kids. I said we were not fighting, and I said he was the only one who made it weird. On the counter, his phone lit up with a calendar reminder. I saw it for half a second. It said, "Meeting, personal 9:10 a.m. I acted like I did not notice. I told myself it was probably work. Ethan had a serious job as an engineer. He always had meetings. Still, something about the label bothered me. It felt private on purpose. I did not ask, because asking meant I cared, and I did not want him to think he mattered that much. At the office, I became a different version of myself. I walked fast, I smiled at the right people, and I spoke like I had control. Cass Vale was already at her desk, tapping her nails and waiting for gossip like it was breakfast. She asked how things were at home. I said Ethan was being sensitive again. I told her he acted like I was a monster because I had opinions. She asked what he did this time. I said he got quiet and made me feel like I was the bad guy for breathing. Priya Sandhu overheard us and asked if everything was okay. I said I was fine, and I said my husband was just insecure. I said he did not like that I was getting my confidence back. I watched their faces while I spoke. I knew how to angle my words so I looked strong and Ethan looked small. It was easy. People liked a simple villain. Later, Ethan sent me a short text. He asked if we could eat dinner as a family that night. I waited before I replied. Waiting always made me feel powerful. Then I said I had a work thing. That was not true, but it felt true enough. I told myself I deserved a break. I told myself he had been cold for years, even though I could not name one clear moment. In my head, feelings were facts. That evening, Cass and a few friends dragged me to a rooftop bar downtown. It had heaters, string lights, and the kind of music that made people talk louder than they should. I liked places like that because attention floated around like perfume. Cass said we needed a reset. She said I looked tired of playing wife. I said I was not tired, and I said I was just bored. We ordered drinks and took pictures before we even sat down. Cass tagged me fast, like she wanted proof we were having fun. Then she started one of her games. She said we should play truth or drink. I told her I was not in the mood for childish stuff. She said it was not childish, and that it would help me own my truth. Everyone laughed, and I felt that familiar pull. I wanted to be the bold one. I wanted to be the girl with no shame. Someone asked what I missed about dating. I said I missed being wanted without having to explain myself. Someone asked what I did not miss. I said I did not miss men who needed constant reassurance. Cass asked if Ethan still tried to act like a hero at home. I rolled my eyes and said he acted like the moral police. I said he always wanted respect, like he earned it just by existing. Then Cass leaned in and asked, like she was giving me a gift, if Ethan ever made me feel fully satisfied. I knew what she meant. I could have shut it down. I could have said we were not talking about that. But the table was watching me. I wanted the laugh. I wanted the shock. I wanted to feel like my words could move a room. So I said my ex satisfied me more, size-wise. I said it like it was a joke, like it was a harmless fact. I told them it was just biology, and men should stop acting like it was a crime. The reactions hit like sparks. A few people gasped. Cass made a sound like she won a prize. Someone laughed too loud. Someone else lifted a phone, and I pretended not to see it. I felt powerful for a second. I felt like I had rewritten the rules. Ethan was not there to interrupt, so it felt safe. In my head, Ethan deserved it for being quiet and judging me all the time. I told myself I was only saying what everyone thought but was afraid to say. I told myself truth was a kind of freedom. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. Then my phone buzzed. It was Ethan. He asked where I was. I said I was with coworkers and it was a work thing. He asked if I was coming home soon because Maya wanted to show me her drawing. I said I would see it tomorrow. He said he did not like how this was going. I said he was controlling again. He said he was not trying to control me, and he just wanted a marriage that was not full of cruelty. I told him he was twisting everything, and I said he always made himself the victim. When I got home, the house was quiet. The kids were asleep. Ethan was in the kitchen rinsing a cup. He did not ask where I was. He did not demand my phone. He did not shout. He just said he was tired and he did not want to talk tonight. That calm made my skin itch. I wanted him to explode so I could point at it and say, "See, that is the real problem." Instead, he walked past me and went upstairs. As he moved, his phone screen lit up again on the counter, and I saw another reminder flash before it went dark. Downtown, 11:20 a.m. I stood there longer than I meant to, staring at that label like it was looking back at me. The next morning, Ethan did not wake me up. That should sound normal, but it was not normal for us. He used to tap my shoulder and ask if I wanted coffee. He used to ask about my day like it mattered. That morning, I woke up to silence and a space beside me that felt colder than it should. I found him in the guest room. The bed was made, but the pillow looked used. I asked why he slept there. He said he needed rest, and he did not want another late-night fight. I told him he was being dramatic, and I said he was punishing me with silence. He said he was not punishing me. He said he was protecting his peace. That sentence annoyed me more than yelling would have. It sounded like something from the internet, like he had practiced it. At breakfast, Maya asked why Dad's mug was on the other side of the counter. Ethan told her he just liked it there. I told her Dad was in a mood. Ethan looked at me for a moment, and he asked me not to label him in front of the kids. I said he was labeling himself by acting like a stranger in his own house. When he left for work, he did not kiss me goodbye. He did not slam the door either. He just grabbed his keys and walked out. I watched him through the window. His car was pointed toward the street, like he was ready to leave fast if he needed to. I told myself I was reading too much into it. I told myself he was trying to make me feel guilty on purpose. At my office, Cass came over with a grin like she had news. She said she saw the rooftop photos, and she said I looked alive. I said I was fine, and I told her Ethan had acted cold again. Cass asked if he cried when I told the truth. I said he could not handle honesty. Priya heard us and asked if things were okay at home. I said it was just marriage stress. I said Ethan made it bigger than it was. I made sure my voice stayed light, like it was all minor. Around lunch, Cass showed me a clip someone recorded at the bar. My voice was clear in it. The laugh was loud. The size-wise line hit hard even through my phone speaker. Cass said it was iconic. I said it was just a joke. Still, my stomach tightened. I asked if Ethan could see it. Cass said it depended on who shared it. She said I should not worry because Ethan did not have social media. I told myself that meant I was safe. I told myself privacy is what you choose, not what you owe. That was how I justified things. If someone got hurt, I said it was because they were weak, not because I was cruel. That evening, I went to the gym even though I was not in the mood. I liked the gym because it gave me an excuse. It was easy to say I was working on myself. I took a quick selfie in the lobby, not for fitness but for proof. I posted it with a simple caption. I wanted the world to see I was not sitting at home begging my husband to like me. When I walked out to the parking area, Dylan Mercer was there. I told myself it was random. I told myself I did not plan it. Dylan smiled like he already knew me, and he asked how I was. I said I was fine, and I joked that marriage made people tired. He said I did not look tired. He said I looked like someone who deserved more. We talked by our cars, like it was harmless. Dylan asked if my husband was still the jealous type. I said Ethan was not jealous, and I said he was just insecure. Dylan said insecurity was a choice. He said some men use silence to control women. I told him Ethan was doing that lately. Dylan said I should not accept it. He said a good man would make me feel wanted, not judged. I felt heat rise in my face, like his words were a drink. I drove to my sister Danny's apartment after that. I did not tell Ethan. I told myself I did not need permission. Danny opened the door and asked what was wrong. I said Ethan was acting like a victim again. Danny said I should just say sorry and move on. I said sorry would make me look guilty. I said Ethan needed to grow up. Danny asked if I really meant what I said at the bar. I said it was true, and I said truth should not be a crime. Danny told me to be careful. She said people record everything now. I said people record because they are bored, not because it matters. Then I asked her if she thought Ethan would actually leave me. Danny laughed and said Ethan would not leave because he was too stable. I liked that answer. It made me feel safe. When I got home, Ethan was in the small office area near the living room. His laptop was open. A spreadsheet was on the screen, but I could not see the title. There were columns and rows like numbers mattered more than feelings. He closed it fast when I walked in. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing some household stuff. I said he was being secretive now. He said he was being practical. I told him I wanted to talk. He asked what I wanted to say. I said I wanted him to stop acting like I ruined his life over one joke. He asked if I understood why it hurt. I said he was making it about his ego. He said it was not ego, and it was dignity. I said dignity was fragile if a few words could break it. He did not answer that. He just walked past me and checked on the kids. Later, when the house got quiet, I heard a small click from the hallway. It sounded like a drawer locking. I stayed still and listened. I told myself it was nothing. Then I told myself it was disrespect. I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling, feeling the first sharp edge of fear, and I hated Ethan for making me feel it. By Wednesday, the joke did not feel like a joke anymore. It lived on other people's phones now. It lived in the small looks they gave me when I walked by. At my desk, I kept my face calm and my shoulders straight. I told myself I was still in control. I told myself people respected bold women, even if they acted shocked for show. Cass acted proud like she had helped me tell my truth. She said the clip was making the rounds. She said people loved it because it was real. I told her it was not a big deal and Ethan needed to get over it. I said men always demanded honesty and then used it as an excuse to punish women. Cass nodded like I was saying something deep. Priya did not nod. Priya asked if I was sure it was smart. She said my name was tied to our company page because of a recent campaign. She said the internet did not care what was private or public. I told her she worried too much. I said nothing I did was illegal, so no one could touch me. That was how I liked to think. I liked rules when they protected me. Right before lunch, my manager, Darren, sent me a message and asked me to come to a small meeting room. The room had glass walls and one little plant that always looked half dead. Darren asked if everything was okay at home. He said he heard some chatter. I said people were bored and needed drama. He asked if the rooftop clip was real. I said it was a joke between friends. He asked if it involved my husband and if it could reflect on the office. I said my husband was not connected to my work. I said it was unfair that women had to act perfect while men could be sloppy. Darren said he was not judging me. He said he just needed to keep the workplace calm. He asked if I could stop posting anything that linked to coworkers for a while. I told him I did not post anything wrong. I told him I would be careful anyway, because I was a team player. I left the room feeling annoyed, like he had asked me to shrink. Back at my desk, I saw an email thread open on my screen from earlier. The subject line said, "Follow up." It was not even mine. It was a shared chain I had clicked by mistake. Still, the word stuck with me. Follow-up sounded like consequences. I told myself I was being dramatic like Ethan. Ethan texted me that afternoon. He asked what time I would be home. I said late, because of a deadline. He asked if I could at least read to Noah before bed. I said he had 2 hands and could read himself. I told myself that was fair. I told myself I was not the only parent. At the same time, I felt a tight pull in my chest, like a small warning. I ignored it. After work, I did not go home. I went to a co-working cafe near downtown that had long tables and bright lights. I told myself I went there to finish my deadline. I even opened my laptop and typed a few lines so it looked true. Then Dylan arrived, smiling like he already belonged at my table. He asked how I was holding up. I said my husband was being cold and dramatic. Dylan said some men used silence like a weapon. He said if a man loved a woman, he would not make her feel ashamed for speaking. I told Dylan that Ethan always acted like a moral judge. Dylan asked if Ethan ever asked what I needed. I said Ethan only asked what he needed, like respect and loyalty. I said loyalty was earned, not owed. Dylan nodded like he agreed, and I felt seen in a way I wanted too much. Dylan asked if I wanted to walk by the river after I finished. I said I had to work. He said fresh air helped people think. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself talking was not cheating. I also told myself Ethan had pushed me there with his attitude. That thought made me feel clean. At the riverside promenade, the air was cold enough to wake me up. People walked dogs and held coffee cups. Dylan walked close but not touching. He asked if I still loved Ethan. I said love was complicated. I said I love my family, but I did not love feeling trapped. Dylan said trapped was not love. He said I deserved to feel chosen. He asked if Ethan knew how unhappy I was. I said I had tried to tell him, but he only cared about his pride. Dylan asked what I would do if Ethan left. I laughed and said Ethan would never leave. I said he was stable like furniture. Dylan said stable did not mean stuck. He said stable people made moves quietly. I felt that warning in my chest again. I told myself Dylan was just trying to impress me. Then Dylan said I should protect myself too. He said if Ethan was acting cold, I should keep proof of how he treated me. He suggested I keep notes of dates and moments when Ethan shut down. He said it would help if things got ugly. I told him he was being dramatic. Still, I opened my phone and turned on a recording app just to see how it looked. A soft beep sounded, and I turned it off fast, like I had touched something hot. When I got home, Ethan was already done with dinner. The kitchen looked cleaned, like he had erased me from the evening. He asked if my deadline went well. I said yes and asked why he cared. He said he was trying to keep life normal for the kids. I said normal would be easier if he stopped acting like a stranger. Maya showed me her drawing. It was a house with 4 stick people. One stick person stood a little apart. Maya asked if that was okay, or if she should move them closer. I told her it was fine. Ethan looked at the drawing longer than he needed to. He asked Maya if she was worried about anything. Maya said she just wanted everyone at the same table again. After the kids went to bed, I went to the hallway and saw the guest bed was slightly disturbed, like someone had sat there. Ethan walked past me with a folded blanket. I asked if he was really doing this. He asked what I meant. I said he was trying to punish me. He said he was trying not to say something he could not take back. Later, in the dark, I heard a low hum from the small office area. It sounded like a shredder, steady and calm. I lay still and listened. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself he was just cleaning old papers. Then I thought about Dylan, saying stable people made moves quietly, and my stomach tightened like a fist. The next weekend, my mother invited everyone to a family dinner, like food could glue a cracked thing back together. She said we needed to be together because the kids needed normal. I agreed fast because I wanted an audience. I wanted people to see Ethan as the problem. I wanted them to see me as the woman who tried. The restaurant was loud and bright. The long table made it feel like a meeting, not a meal. My mother, Janelle, sat close to me like a shield. My father, Graham, sat across and watched like he was counting lies. Ethan sat near the end with Maya and Noah. He kept his hands busy with napkins and kids' cups, like he had trained himself to stay calm. My mother asked Ethan how work was. He said it was fine and asked about her garden. She smiled too wide and said she was glad he could still be polite. I knew what she meant. She wanted him to look guilty just by being quiet. I helped her without thinking. I told the table Ethan had been shutting me out. I said he refused to talk, and I said he was acting like a stranger in our house. My sister Danny nodded a little, like she wanted peace more than truth. Ethan asked what I meant by shutting me out. I said he knew exactly what I meant, and I said he was pretending not to understand so he could look calm. He said he was calm because he did not want the kids to hear more fighting. I said the kids already felt it because he made the whole house tense. My mother said a husband should not make his wife beg for attention. She said men needed to step up. Ethan looked at her and said he did not want to debate marriage roles at dinner. My mother took that as proof he was cold. She asked why he could not just apologize for being distant. Ethan said he would apologize for the parts he owned, but he would not apologize for being hurt. I did not like that. It sounded too reasonable. Then Cass showed up. I had not told Ethan she was coming. Cass said she was in the area and wanted to support me. She gave me a long hug in front of everyone, like a performance. She sat down and started talking fast, like she was filling silence on purpose. Cass asked Ethan if he was still mad about the rooftop night. Ethan said he did not want to discuss it. Cass laughed and said he was proving her point. She said he could not handle humor. I felt my chest lift, like Cass was fighting for me. I told myself that was loyalty. I did not tell myself it was cruelty. My mother asked what Cass meant. Cass said it was just a joke I made, and Ethan took it like an attack. My father asked what the joke was. I should have stopped it. Instead, I leaned into it because I wanted to win. I said I had compared Ethan to my ex, size-wise, and it was not a crime. I said it was a fact, and facts should not scare grown men. My mother made a small, shocked sound. Then she said women were allowed to have opinions. Danny stared at her plate. My father's face tightened, like he had bitten something sour. Ethan did not raise his voice. He did not slam his hand on the table. He looked at me and asked if I really thought that was okay to say in public. I said I did not say it to the public. I said it was with friends, and people just love to gossip. He asked if I could see how it humiliated him. I said humiliation was a choice, and I said if he was confident, it would slide off. He looked at Maya and Noah, and then back at me. He asked if I would say the same thing if Maya's future partner said it about her. I said that was not the same because Maya was a girl. Even as I said it, my father looked at me like I had lost my mind. Ruth, Ethan's mother, arrived late and sat down quietly. She looked at the kids first, not at me. She asked how school was going. Maya answered and smiled a little. Ruth's calm made me feel judged. I told myself she was turning the kids against me, even though she did not say anything like that. The meal kept going, but it felt like the table had split into teams. My mother and Cass acted like they were protecting me from Ethan's mood. My father asked careful questions. He asked if I had apologized. I said I did not need to apologize for my feelings. He asked if I had stopped posting about Ethan online. I said I did not post about Ethan. I said I posted about men like him. My father said that was the same thing. I said he was taking Ethan's side. When we left, I walked ahead so people could not see my face. In the parking lot, Ethan buckled Noah into his seat and did not look at me. I asked why he was acting like I did not exist. He said he was choosing not to argue. I said he was doing it to punish me. He said punishment was not his plan. He said he wanted peace for the kids. On Monday, I went to school pickup. I wore a nice coat and tried to look unbothered. In line, another parent gave me a half smile and asked if I was the one from that clip. I asked what clip. She said it was all over group chats and it sounded like me. I said people edited things to make women look bad. She said she hoped things got better for the kids. I hated how she said, for the kids, like she already judged me. Ethan arrived right on time. He stood a little apart, not hiding, not pushing. Maya ran to him first. That stung. I told myself it was because Ethan was making himself the safe parent on purpose. Ethan asked Maya about her day. She told him about a spelling test. He listened like it mattered. I told myself listening was easy when you wanted to look good. After pickup, we stopped at the supermarket because Noah wanted cereal. Inside, I tried to make small talk with Ethan. I asked if he could stop sleeping in the guest room. He said he would sleep where he could rest. I said rest was not an excuse to freeze me out. He said he was not freezing me out, and he was just not willing to be mocked. At the checkout, Ethan placed a divider between his items and mine. He paid for the kids' snacks and household basics. Then he paid for a few things separately. I asked why he was doing that. He said it was simpler. I said it was petty. He said it was clear. When he pulled out his keys, I noticed a new key on his ring. It was shiny and different. I asked what it was for. He said it was for storage. I asked what storage. He said calmly that it was just storage. His tone was polite, but it felt like a door closing. That night, after the kids went to bed, I walked past the shelf in the hallway and saw a folder I had not noticed before. It was plain and neat. A label on it said, Utilities. I touched it like it might bite. I told myself he was trying to scare me. Then I told myself I did not care. But I kept thinking about that new key, and I could not sleep. I started watching Ethan like he was a stranger living in my house. I told myself it was because I cared. The truth was, I felt the ground moving, and I did not know how to stop it. On Tuesday morning, I went into the garage early, before the kids woke up. I said I needed something from my car. I really wanted to see what Ethan did when he thought I was not looking. His car was backed in, pointed toward the street again. It looked ready. That detail made me angry, like he was planning a life without me and pretending it was normal. Ethan came in with his travel mug and his calm face. He asked if I was taking the kids to school. I said yes. He said he could do it if I was running late. I told him I was not late, and I said he always acted like I could not handle basic things. He said he was not saying that. He said he was just offering help. I did not want help. I wanted him to chase me. I wanted him to ask for me, not for the schedule. So I pushed. I asked if he was still hurt about my joke. He said it was not one joke, and it was a pattern. I asked what pattern. He said I knew. I said he was making stories again. He asked if I remembered what I posted, and who I tagged, and what I let other people say about him. I said he was stalking my accounts now. He said he did not need to stalk anything that was public. That line made me feel small, so I turned it around. I told him he was obsessed with control. I told him he wanted to police my words. He said he did not want to police me. He said he wanted basic respect. I laughed and told him respect was not a gift, and he did not act like someone who deserved it. He did not react. He walked past me and opened a locked drawer in the small cabinet by the garage door. I heard the click. He took out a stack of envelopes and put them into his work bag. I could not see what they were. I asked what he was doing. He said he was sorting some household items. I asked why he needed a lock for household items. He said it was just organization. Then he said he had to go. When I drove the kids to school, Maya sat quiet. She asked if Dad was mad at me. I told her Dad was just stressed and dramatic. She asked if I was mad at him. I said no, and I said adults sometimes needed space. Noah asked if we could all eat pancakes on Saturday. I said yes fast, like a promise could erase the tension. I told myself the kids were fine, as long as I stayed cheerful. That was my style. If I smiled, nothing could be broken. After work, I did not go home. I went to a co-working cafe again. I told myself I needed to finish a project. I opened my laptop and typed for 10 minutes. Then Dylan texted me that he was nearby. I told myself I did not invite him. I still replied. He arrived with that smooth confidence that felt like air after a closed room. He asked how things were with Ethan. I said Ethan was acting like a saint, which was his new trick. I said he wanted to look calm so everyone would blame me. Dylan said calm men were often dangerous in a different way. He said they did things quietly. I said Ethan was not like that. Dylan asked if I was sure. He said I needed to protect myself. I told Dylan that Ethan had started paying separately at the store. I told him about the new key on his ring. Dylan asked if Ethan was moving money. I said Ethan did not have the spine to do anything real. Dylan said spine was not needed for paperwork. He said he had seen breakups where the calm one walked away with everything because they planned. He said if I wanted to stay in control, I should stop begging and start acting smart. I did not like hearing that I might lose, so I made it sound like I was choosing. I told Dylan I was fine. I told him I was not scared. I said I could leave Ethan any time. Dylan asked why I did not. I said I had kids and I had a home, and I was not going to blow it up just because Ethan was sensitive. Dylan said I was already living in the blow-up. He leaned in and asked if Ethan knew about us. I said there was no us. I said Dylan was being dramatic. Dylan said drama was what kept me stuck. He said I liked the chaos because it made me feel alive. That sentence hit too close, so I snapped back. I told him he did not know me. He said he knew enough. He said I wanted to be chosen, and Ethan was not choosing me right now. I went home with my head buzzing. I walked into the house and felt the quiet like a wall. The kids were watching a show. Ethan was folding laundry on the couch like it was a normal evening. He asked how my work went. I said it was fine. Then I asked why he was acting like nothing happened between us. He said he was trying to keep the house stable for the kids. I said stable felt like cold. He said cold was better than cruel. That word, cruel, made me rage inside. I told him he was calling me names now. He said he was not calling me anything. He said my actions spoke for themselves. I said his silence was emotional abuse. He said he was not abusing me. He said he was choosing distance because I kept twisting every talk into a fight. So I tried a different tactic. I softened my voice and offered a fake apology. I told him I was sorry he took the joke badly. I told him I was sorry his confidence was fragile. I said I wished he could just laugh with me. Ethan looked at me for a long moment, like he was deciding if I was safe to talk to at all. He asked if I understood what I did to him in public. I said I understood he was embarrassed. He asked if I cared. I said I cared about our family, and that should be enough. He asked if I would delete the posts and tell Cass to stop sharing clips. I said I would not beg my friends for him. I said if he wanted respect, he should earn it like everyone else. Ethan stood up and carried a folded blanket toward the stairwell. I followed him to the landing and demanded he talk. He said he did not want to talk on the stairs where the kids could hear. I said the kids already heard everything because he made the house tense. He said the kids heard because I kept pushing. At night, I heard the printer in the small office area. It spat out a page, then another. When I went to look, the tray was empty, like someone had taken the papers fast. The air smelled faintly like toner. I asked Ethan if he was printing work stuff. He said he was handling personal tasks. I told him he was hiding things from me. He said he was done explaining himself to someone who used his words against him. I told him he was trying to scare me. He looked at me with a calm face that felt like a locked door. He said he would handle it properly. In the office tower lobby, I was walking fast with my phone in my hand, trying to look normal. I told myself the panic in my chest was just caffeine. Then a man stepped toward me and said he needed to confirm my name. I asked who he was. He said he was there to deliver legal documents. I laughed like it was a mistake. He asked me to take the packet. I said I did not accept anything. He said acceptance was not required, and he placed it in my hands anyway. 2 coworkers slowed down near the security desk. Priya stood by the elevator and stared at me like she did not know me. I told everyone it was nothing. I said Ethan was being dramatic again. The server said my husband's name clearly. My mouth went dry. I flipped pages without reading right. Then I saw words I could not joke away. It said divorce. It said temporary orders. It said a schedule for the kids, starting now. It said we had to communicate in a structured way. It said we could not post about each other online. My hands shook, and I hated that they shook. I called Ethan. It went to voicemail. I texted him that he was sick. I said he was trying to ruin me. He did not reply. I walked into HR and asked for help. I said I was being harassed. The HR manager asked who was harassing me. I said my husband. She looked down at the packet and said this was a personal legal matter. She said the company could not interfere. Cass called me back and asked what happened. I told her Ethan was attacking me with paperwork because he could not handle a joke. She said I should post my side first. I said yes. Then I remembered the line in the packet about posting, and my throat tightened. I went downtown, still wearing my badge. I told myself I could talk Ethan out of it. I told myself he would feel guilty when he saw me cry. Outside the courthouse plaza, I saw him. He stood straight, not smiling, not angry. Caleb stood beside him. Ruth was there too, holding Noah's small hand. I walked up and asked Ethan how he could do this. He said he was doing it properly. I said the kids needed us together. He said the kids needed stability, not performances. I said he was making me the villain. He said I did that myself. Inside, a clerk called our names. I tried to explain that it was just jokes and just stress. Ethan did not raise his voice. He answered questions with dates and times. He referenced posts, tags, and messages. He showed how my late work nights did not match my building entries. He showed the clip and how often it was shared. I felt the room turn cold around me. The clerk said the temporary orders were granted today, effective immediately.